Y'all didn't think I forgot about part 3 of me rating all of the eyeshadow palettes in my collection now, did you? You can tell the truth because you probably did. Don't get popped. Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to finish up rating all of the eyeshadow palettes in my collection. And super excited about because I do believe this will be the end of it, or at least for now. Because I told myself that I need to stop buying eyeshadow palettes every time a new one comes out. It's just so toxic that I feel like I need to get another one. Speaking of buying a new eyeshadow palette, I bought the most recent Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette. I cannot wait to get into this. I won't be using this palette today, but I just wanted to bring it out just as for reference kind of thing because I do love her formula. Just to have it, just so I can rate everything. I want to say it's been about 2 weeks since my last long form video content upload, which I do apologize. I've been such a busy individual lately, just a lot going on. But I was like, let me get this video done today. I feel like today would be the perfect day to do it. That way I can edit it and get it done, get it posted. Y'all have been asking me on TikTok live and things like that, when is the next video coming? So to everyone that's been asking me, thank you so much. I really appreciate the motivation to go ahead and get this done. So are y'all ready to get into it? Because baby, I am ready to hop into this. I am super excited for this video because there are some palettes that I just absolutely love, and then there are some palettes that definitely just need to be burned. Sorry, but not sorry. Of course, at the end of the day, this is my view on these palettes, just my personal experience. Some of these palettes might be your favorite palette. Some of them might not be your favorite palette. Like I said, at the end of the day, this is just my personal opinion. With that being said, let's get into it. So starting us off, we have Miss James Charles. This is James Charles brand Painted. And I must say that I absolutely love his eyeshadow formula. For one, not just the formula is something that I love, but I love the packaging of this. The way that he's just gone about creating his brand around painted or painted products, or not painted products, but stuff that you use to paint. I think that is super cute. So this one is his basic canvas palette. So it actually looks just like a stretched canvas painting. And I think that is super cute. The swatches on the front are raised, so they are textured. This is the first palette that he came out with, and I think it is super cute, perfect for that everyday kind of glam. You cannot go wrong with a palette like this. One of my favorite shades in this palette, as far as his mattes, is definitely the shade Theodore, because it's the darkest black you can get. You know how sometimes you can get a black eyeshadow and it blends out gray? This one does not blend out gray. It definitely blends out black and it looks beautiful. You definitely want to make sure that you use just a little bit at first, because it can definitely be a little bit overpowering and it can possibly take over the whole eyeshadow look. So use just a tinge at first. This palette is absolutely beautiful. I just love it. And I love how when he came out with his newer one, this is the artistry canvas. I love how he kept the packaging pretty much the same. It's still in that stretch canvas. You get the swatches on the front. I love it when brands keep things consistent with their packaging. Natasha Denona is the same way for the most part. I think that is super cute for people that love to collect things like this. The fact that he kept it pretty much the same, I'm in love with it. So I'm hoping his next palette, we get something like this as well. I'm even thinking that his next palette is going to be like a black and white palette. So, you know, whenever it comes to painting or drawing, you always have basically the skeleton of whatever it is. And most of the time it's like a sketch. With the sketch is black and white. So I felt like that would be really cute for us to get a whole black and white palette, different shades, hues of black, whites, grays, that kind of thing. I think that would be amazing. But his eyeshadow formula blends out beautifully. So I'm definitely going to give the James Charles Painted Co. palettes a solid 8 out of 10. I love them. They blend out beautifully and they're super pigmented. Like I said, the packaging is just adorable. Y'all, I am so disappointed by this next palette because it was just absolutely terrible. Now, I don't know if it's terrible because it may be considered a kid's palette or what, but it's from Beauty Creations and it's actually their Barbie by Beauty Creations Hello World palette. If you know me, you know that I love all things Barbie in pink. So when I seen this on the TikTok shop, I just got it. I was like, absolutely, let me get it. because it's super cute. In this palette, you get 6 different shades. You get a few mattes, you get a few shimmers, and then you get some highlighters. Y'all, I literally used this palette on live and it was just terrible. The pigment was not there. Whether it came to the mattes or the shimmers, I did not try out any of the highlighters, I believe, but everything was just not giving what it's supposed to give for the most part. And I'm talking about, I really tried to pack on the pigment using packing brushes, blending it out. I think the only pigment that I was really able to get out of this palette was the darkest one. That was the only one that showed up with anything. And then when I went in to try to use any of the shimmers, I literally had to dig in it to really pack on the color for the shimmers. But then again, it was pretty much non-existent. This palette was a complete letdown. And I've only kept it for so long because I just love Barbie. I think this stuff is super cute, but I do think maybe it's considered a kid's palette. So that's why it's not super pigmented or anything like that. But I don't know. I really don't. I mean, it has highlighters in its shimmers, super cute. It's not the most expensive thing, but it's not dirt cheap either. I don't know. I really tried to give it a good chance, but honestly, I don't think I even want to just hold on to this. I think I'm gonna find someone to really give this to that may enjoy it, possibly someone that has kids. But as far as my experience and my opinion of the Beauty Creations eyeshadow formula, I'm definitely gonna have to give this a 1 out of 10. And it's only getting a 1 because it's so stinking cute. But that's about it. I said what I said. Now, for this next palette, or shall I say for this next brand, I do want to say a huge congratulations. She just opened up her store location at the Mall of Georgia and everything looks beautiful. I cannot wait to go visit. And that brand is from Playing in Makeup by Yolando. Or shall I say Yolando herself. Yolando has been visiting my lives a lot the past 3 months. And just like 2 weeks ago, she actually gave me a follow. A full circle moment for me. I was just so happy because she's only following less than 1,000 people. And to me, it just means a lot because it makes me feel like she sees something in me to want to give me that follow. Because you only really follow people that you want to see their content and things like that. But let's get into her eyeshadow formula. When it comes to eyeshadow formula, Yolando's is definitely up there in my opinion. I feel like her formula is top tier. The colors, the pigments, the shimmers, they all pack that pigment for sure. Is none other than top tier. I want to say I have about 6 of her eyeshadow palettes. I'm not 100% sure. But it's like, if I could collect them all, I definitely would. And if you've ever used her formula, I'm pretty sure you know that it is definitely amazing. This particular palette is the Surreal palette from Playing in Makeup by Yolando. It's a really cute, kind of like a sultry almost kind of palette. You have to watch like some of her videos where she takes some of these shimmers and just do a long streak all down her arm and stuff like that. Y'all, it is phenomenal. That's what really caught me and made me want to try out her formula. Ever since then, whenever she releases a palette and I think it's super cute like this one, I always get it. Immediately, let me get it, child. Let me get 14 of them immediately. So when it comes to her formula, I feel like it blends out beautifully, super pigmented. It definitely gives what I need for it to give every single time. With all of that being said, I'm definitely gonna have to give Playing in Makeup by Yolando a solid 8 out of 10. For this next palette, it honestly could not have come at a better time. And this palette comes from my boo Kyle Ryan. He came out with his own makeup brand. The name of it is Kyle Ryan Beauty. I'm not too sure how long he's been in the works with this palette, but I do know that he is super proud of it. He decided to send me over this palette in PR. The name of it is Wildflower, and I just love the quote that he has for this palette. So that quote is, "In a world full of roses, be a wildflower." You cannot tell me that you don't think that is insanely cute. It definitely is. Congratulations, Kyle. Thank you so much for sending me over this palette, but you know I have to give it to the girls raw. So when it comes to Kyle's palette, y'all, I am literally obsessed with it. I've been using this palette all week and I have been loving it down so much. Now, I must admit, I have not played really with any of the shimmers, the duochromes or multichromes. And that's just personally because of me. I'm more of a matte kind of person. But as far as the mattes go, I can definitely let you know that they have great pigment. and they do blend out beautifully. My only thing with his eyeshadow formula is that whenever I place it on the lids, it's almost like it doesn't really want to move in a sense. I really don't know if I'm explaining that correctly because it blends out beautifully. I guess what I'm trying to say is once you place it down, it doesn't really want to move. It likes to stay put where it is, which we do want that too. And I'm not saying that this is more so a negative thing, because for me, I love to build up my pigment as I'm blending it out. So I feel like with this, you're definitely going to be going in, getting some, putting it on the lid and blending it out to build it up. I don't think it's so much as a negative thing. I honestly think it's maybe like a really positive thing, depending on how you're looking at it. But the pigment is definitely there. Like I said, it does blend out really good, but it blends out in the sense of building up the pigment. My first look with this palette, I did go in with this sunflower yellow shade, and it was adorable. Literally obsessed with it. Everyone said they want a tutorial of it immediately. So I literally got the tutorial done the next day. Have I edited that tutorial yet? Absolutely not. I'm not too sure when I'm going to get that done, but I will be working on it. But the real question is, what would I rate Kyle Ryan Beauty's palette? I'm going to give this one a solid 7.5 out of 10. And I'm only going to give it that because I really haven't played with the shimmers in this palette, only the mattes. And so far, I am loving it. Y'all, we're definitely going to get back to the video, but I literally just got a Sephora package in, and I have been waiting for this eyeshadow palette to come in. So y'all know I have to open this up with y'all. So excited for this, y'all. This palette looked amazing online. So whenever I seen it, I just said I have to get it. Can y'all guess what it is before I show you? You got about 10 seconds to go ahead and guess. Leave me a comment and let me know if you guessed correctly. But it is none other than the new Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Nature palette. Wait a minute, and not the palette being signed. Is it actually signed, or is this on the palette itself? It was made that way. I need for somebody to let me know. Actually, don't even worry about it. I'm just going to keep the whole thing forever because that is insanely cute. Mario! Y'all know I love Makeup by Mario down. Love, love, love it down. I think his eyeshadow formula is pretty okay. It definitely has to be somewhat okay for me to continue purchasing his eyeshadow palettes. This wasn't even going to be a part of this video because I've already reviewed how I felt about his eyeshadow formula, or shall I say, I've already rated his eyeshadow formula. Baby, this is a brand new palette and I have to let y'all see it first. But are y'all ready to look at it? Oh my goodness. This is so stinking gorgeous. Just by looking at it, it definitely gives those nature type of vibes. You automatically think leafy greens, those little bursts of those little red tones and colors, those browns, all of those neutral shades. I quite literally think I am obsessed with this. Let me know if y'all would like an eyeshadow tutorial using this palette. Let's get back to this video so we can wrap it on up. I do have a few more palettes to go through, but I do want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you have continued to watch it up until this point, if you're a new viewer or a new watcher, my name is Bay, VMUA. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. That way you know whenever I drop a new video. I really do appreciate it, as it does help out the channel a ton. But let's go ahead and get into this next palette. This is the iconic London eyeshadow palette. I think the name of this one is Hotting Up eyeshadow palette. Where did I get this eyeshadow palette? I think I may have gotten this one from off of Ipsy. I think I'm always shopping on Ipsy, but this is a really cute everyday eyeshadow palette. Now, one thing I did not notice until like literally a few seconds ago was that this palette looks like you get two shades, or not two shades, but you get two rows of cool tones, and then you get another two rows of those warmer tones. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think these two rows are more cool and these are warm? And these are definitely warm in my opinion. And then these just kind of seem cool, especially like this black and this brown right here. These two shades definitely give nothing but cool. I did a cute little eyeshadow look with this palette a while back. I do love the formula. I think the formula is really good, and I love the packaging of this too. I think that is adorable. It blended out great. The only thing that I just did not like a lot was this black or the brown, because once I blended them out, they almost look a little bit too gray. I was not for it. But of course, if you're looking for that gray kind of moment with those shimmers, then this would be perfect for you. But that was not what I was looking for. I would love to find a palette to where you get basically the same shade in a palette, but they make one warm and they make one cool. I think that would be extremely cute and super smart. Basically, you would have the two black shades, but you would have a cool black shade and then you would have a warm black shade. I hope that makes sense, y'all. I really do hope that makes sense because, baby, it makes sense in my head. The day I become a brand owner, just know things are going to get crazy. But overall, I did enjoy this palette. I just have not really reached for it much since then. The only reason why I really picked it up off of Ipsy because I think this palette retails for almost 60 bucks and it was on sale for like 14, 15 bucks. So I said, OMG, it must be a really, really good palette for it to cost so much, but it was on sale. So I was like, let me try it out. I was okay with the performance of it, but it was nothing that just made me scream. For this palette, I'm definitely going to give it a 7 out of 10. She's a cute girl. She definitely does the job well, but I'm just not crazy about her. Plus, I do have a ton of neutral everyday eyeshadow palettes that I can use over this one. So I think I might end up giving this one away too. Seems like the good thing to do. That way it's not just collecting dust. Remember when I said I had a ton of neutral eyeshadow palettes that I can choose from versus the one previously? Yeah, this is definitely one of those eyeshadow palettes. This is the ColourPop Bare Necessities eyeshadow palette, and it is definitely one of my favorite neutral eyeshadows. Can we please get into the packaging? The packaging is so cute. It's like this pebble texture kind of feel, and then you get all of the color names on the back of it, which I really, really do like that as well. But opening it up, look at all of those beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colors, y'all. I love this palette so freaking much. I've only used it a few times, but every time I use it, I am just blown away by how affordable these palettes are, but how pigmented and how good they are. Like, my favorite shimmer is definitely this one right here. It's the shade Silk Teddy. It is literally the perfect shimmer for just about everything. You can even use it for highlighter. Remember when I said I love it when brands are really consistent with the packaging of their products? They basically give us the same component, but they may change the color of the outside, change the color of the shadows and shimmers on the inside. But I love it when they give us these palettes and they're all the same size. Personally, I think that is super cute and it makes me want to buy more and more and more of them. So I started off with one and then I ended up getting several more because I just love the fact that they are all the same size. Easy for if you're on the go, you're packaging them up. The names are right here on the top. I love stuff like this. I don't know, maybe it's because of my OCD, maybe. I just love things to be nice, neat, and cute. And they definitely did that with all of these eyeshadows. I have the Rock Candy palette, the Stone Cold Fox palette, the Matte About Hue palette, which I think the Matte About Hue palette is super, super cute. I have not even played in this palette yet. It's still brand spanking new. All of those different hues, all of those different colors. We're gonna have to bust her out really, really soon. I also have Smoking Roses. Love, love, love this palette for that rosy, mauve type of moment. Precious Metals is definitely like a second favorite. Bare Necessities being my top one favorite. Precious Metals definitely comes in second. And then of course, Bare Necessities, which is my absolute favorite. Okay, so the shimmers, absolutely amazing. The mattes, amazing as well. I do feel like they blend out really good, and ColourPop is very affordable. They're always doing sales, so you don't have to really worry about paying full price unless it's a new palette or something like that. So I think for ColourPop, I think I'm going to give them a solid 8 out of 10. They're not up there with the girls, but she's still a cute girl. We are narrowing it down to my last two brands that I do want to mention in this video, which are some of my favorite eyeshadow formulas ever. I pretty much can just go ahead and say it and get it out of the way, but these two brands are definitely getting a 10 out of 10. Definitely some top tier formulas. I love everything about them, but I do just want to show y'all these palettes and everything like that too. Maybe even show you how many I have because I just love them that much. Starting off with the Jeffree Star Cosmetics eyeshadow formulas, definitely some of the best. Y'all can hate Jeffree all you want. I will never hate Jeffree. Whatever Jeffree had going on has nothing to do with me until he says it to me personally. So I'm going to continue purchasing his stuff. I don't care how much hate I get for that. I love what Jeffree does with his brand, what he does with his makeup, his eyeshadow formula. I love it. So I'm definitely going to continue purchasing it. But the Jeffree Star O2 palette, I'm covering it up because I don't know if YouTube even allow stuff like that. So I'm covering it up so you can't really see it. But the O2 palette has to be one of my favorite palettes to use. It's more so a neutral eyeshadow palette, but compared to his O1 palette, this palette is a lot more warm, and you do get a wide range of mattes and shimmers in this one. So this is perfect for that everyday glam, a nice cute soft glam, or if you want to go bold and sultry, this would be perfect for you. I can't tell you how many eyeshadow looks I've done out of this because it just gives what it needs to give. His eyeshadow formula is a powder formula, but it's some of the creamiest powdery formulas I've ever used. The way that it blends out is literally like no other. I will always purchase Jeffree Star's eyeshadow palettes. I don't care what the palette comes in. I don't care what y'all have to say about him at all. I really don't. I can care less. When it comes to this eyeshadow formula, I'm definitely going to get it. I'm actually patiently awaiting for him to drop his cremated palette and the Pink Religion palette again, because I missed out on both of those. And if you think I'm lying about how much I love his formula, hold on, wait a second. Let me show you how many of his palettes I have. Okay, so I had to go pull out everything because they were over here in this little cubby. But my first palette from Jeffree Star was actually this one, which is the Bloodlust palette. Let me wipe the dust off of her. I have not used this palette in forever. But this one was my first one, and I absolutely love it down. I love all of his palettes, honestly. This was my first one, and Jeffree literally changed up the game with these trunks. So this one would make my first one. I do have a ton of his other trunks as well, like Blood Sugar, Gothic Beach, Blood Money, Gold Blooded. Have all of those. I even have 3 of his mini eyeshadow palettes and the magnetic one, because why not? The minis are just as good, and baby, if you're collecting his stuff, you definitely have to get these. There's so many of Jeffree Star's eyeshadow palettes that I'm missing out of my collection that I would just die to have. The magnetic one was absolutely perfect to get because you do get a lot like these little single shadows from whenever you order stuff. You know, you win something on the TikTok lives and different things like that. So this was definitely like mandatory to get, but it's also perfect. Let's say if you have some other eyeshadow palettes and their single shadows might be depotted, then you can just toss them right in here. But because it was a Jeffree Star eyeshadow palette, even though it's magnetic, I just had to get it. Not me taking y'all through my whole collection of Jeffree Star. That can honestly like a whole nother video. Maybe I can make it a whole nother video where I like rate them and put them in order, like least to favorite. What do y'all think? You already know I'm going to ask y'all questions. So if you think that would be a really good video, drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think. I even have Androgyny with really cute palette. Beauty Killer 2. I absolutely love this one as well. I think this palette may have been the second one that I had got from him, but I actually got this one in a blind box or something like that. But this one is the Banana Fetish palette. If I do decide to do a video of me putting all of these palettes in order from my favorite to my least favorite, definitely remember this palette. I promise you, you won't forget it. So there's also the iconic Jawbreaker palette. I love this one too. It's super fun, super colorful. Oh my goodness, the Star Wedding palette. Honestly, this palette will always hold a special memory for me because I actually did my first wedding client's makeup or her eyeshadow makeup using this palette, and it turned out beautifully. I love this palette. So great, like if you want to do something extremely bold or you want to do something soft and cute. Whenever I showed her this palette and was like, would you mind if I did your glam from out of this? She was like, absolutely yes. So it turned out amazing. I love it. Like I said, this will always hold such a special memory for me because that wedding day, I was crying so bad. I was super nervous for one because I've never done any wedding makeup. But when I tell you her makeup ate down boots, baby, you couldn't tell me I wasn't Picasso because baby, I was giving it. I was so proud of myself, y'all. So next we have this palette. Again, I do have to cover it up, y'all. I just don't know if YouTube allows all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna just go ahead and flip it around. But this one is the O1 palette. And this one is all mattes. Perfect for the girlies that just want that everyday kind of glam. I'm pretty sure I have about 5 other palettes to go through that I can show y'all from his brand. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next brand, but I am giving Jeffree Star Cosmetics a 10 out of 10. But I'm pretty sure I said that already at the beginning. I already knew. I love his formula. So definitely 10 out of 10. Now let me go put all this stuff back up. Now for the last and final brand that I'm going to be rating y'all, which you already know she's getting a 10 out of 10. It is definitely the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes. If you know me, you know that I love Natasha Denona down. Literally one of the best formulas I've ever tried. I love the way that it blends out. I love the pigment. I love all of the color stories. This one in particular is actually her newest one. This is the Natasha Denona High Scope Texture and Tone palette. Immediately when I seen it, I went ahead and ordered it. I got this one in the shade Dramatic. So there's this one that's for the darker skinned individuals or the more melanated people. And then there's another one which is lighter for the more fair skinned people. And I just love how she did that. Whenever she was talking about this palette, she talked about how she formulated the two for that reason. Okay, Natasha is out here showing the girls how to be inclusive. Love, love, love that for us. So really quick, I'm going to ask y'all a question. How many eyeshadow palettes of Natasha Denona do you think I have? And this is not even including all of my mini palettes, but this is how many palettes of the Natasha Denona that I own. These are all the full size ones. And when I tell you, I'm literally obsessed with her formula. I think her brand is the brand that I have the most eyeshadow palettes from. And honestly, I'm not mad at it. I am going to continue to purchase them. Like I said, that's not even including some of the minis and the babies, because I do have about 15 of those as well. Just to show y'all exactly what I mean, it's kind of these. I just like to have these because they're perfect. Like if you're on the go, you're traveling, you're on vacation, and you don't really want to take much, these are perfect for that. My first eyeshadow palette from Natasha Denona was actually this one right here, which is the Sunset palette. This palette came out long, long ago, and I honestly don't remember how I even came into possession of this one. I think somebody may have gifted this one to me, but this is definitely one of the more older palettes that I have from her brand. I mean, if you ask me, it's definitely giving sunset vibes for sure. But like I said, Natasha Denona's eyeshadow formula is definitely a 10 out of 10. Pigment banging, blendability is banging. The packaging is super, super cute. And for the most part, she is pretty consistent with the components of her eyeshadow palettes too, which is definitely something that I love, and I just think it's aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, I do hope y'all enjoyed this video as much as I did enjoy making it. Just to share a little piece of me with y'all, like I said, I do love my eyeshadows. Love some of these brands and their formulas. I mean, I might be a little bit of a hoarder when it comes to these eyeshadow palettes. I don't know. So let me know, are y'all ready for me to do a long form content video on YouTube of the new Natasha Denona palette? Because I think this might be the next video. As always, let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you stayed this long, thank you so much for watching my video. Really, really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. That way you're notified whenever I post a new video. Like I said, it really does help the channel out a ton. You can follow me on my other social media platforms, such as TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it. My name is the same across all platforms, Bay, VMUA. If you really enjoyed this video, leave it a thumbs up. And don't forget to leave me a comment, and I will see y'all in the next video.